So when we last left our heroes, we had made the case for focusing on business referrals. We had talked about the idea of feeding your referrals with stuff, whether it be speaking opportunities, whether it's business development content, whether it's networking opportunities, etc. Just the idea that if you make sure that your networking partners are clear on who you are and what you're doing, and then you have a way of feeding them and supporting them, then that can lead to referrals. And we've identified that referrals are really hard to lose business, etc. So what we want to talk about now is how to do this. And I'm going to look at this as 3 different stages. Stage 1 is to activate your network and figure out which of those people are just general members of your network, which of them are activated members of your network, which of them are potential team members. 2, we're going to start to identify what would feed them the most and start to do that for them. And then thirdly, we're going to ask ourselves, is this something that Fraser can help you with and help manage and ensure that it happens consistently without a cost, without a negative? And then fourthly, we're going to talk about the benefits of expanding your network using the Team 100 approach of identifying slots, business types, and filling those slots. And then as you meet people and put them in those slots, you rinse and repeat the process of activating your network, inviting them, encouraging them, attracting them into being a member of your team, and then weaponizing those people through providing them the things, whether that's the exposure, whether that's the discounts and bonuses, whether that's your content, or whether that is business development content to grow their businesses. So by the end of this discussion, we should be in a place where we feel there's value in focusing on a business network to attract referrals, that we are really aware of who's in our network and what we've increased our network IQ, and we kind of have tiers or levels of the people in our network, which ones we think are activated, which ones we think are motivated, which ones we think are good team members, etc. We should have a startup plan for starting on a scheduled, systematic basis to share stuff with our network, with us as the member, the center of the team. And then you should be able to say, this is great, I'm gonna do this on my own, or this is great, I'm gonna see if I can't leverage some of the technology and systems that Fraser has developed for big members, and you'll go in one direction or the other. And then fourthly, you will have a clear idea of how to use the Team 100 concept to grow your network and your team. All right? So fundamentally, I think we've already talked about activating the network, sending them that email and asking them what you can do for them, asking them about their goals for 2018, making sure that they know who you are, what you're looking for, what you're about in 2018. And it's as simple as that in terms of activating the network, because some people will respond, some people will not respond, and the people who respond, they will give you sort of insight as to where they stand. And so you may not like going from a vision of, I've got 300 people in my network, to going to, I have 4 people who respond to me, but reality is not the worst therapy in the world either. So that is an email process. That's something that I am willing to offer big members, where we will activate your network for you as kind of your business development, business network manager, but that's just something to put aside. Remember, all of the things I'm talking about here, I am hypothesizing that they're more likely to get done if I do them for you than if you do them. But that's not always the case. And there are many times where it's more valuable or effective for you to do it. So just put that aside, that that's something that's available to you and already paid for as a big member, okay? So we're going to activate those people. And then once we're in sort of an email conversation, right? We send them the email to activate them. They say, yes, well, thanks so much for following up. I love you. You're the best. Here's what I'm doing in 2018, etc. Then we're going to send them a list of questions, right? We're going to say, which of the following things would be most beneficial? In what way can I most support your business besides the obvious of referring business to you? And it's going to be basically that list of things, the give gain list that we talked about in the last recording. So they'll get that, they'll respond to that, or they won't, right? We have an online tool, pretty easy, where they can just sort of do an interactive questionnaire. And that way we get those results immediately and you don't have to sift through them. So now we have a clearer idea of who's in our network. They have already been activated and they know that you are different, right? You care about their success. They have some clarity about your goals. You have some clarity about their goals. They have some clarity about your marketing initiatives. You have some clarity about their marketing initiatives. And we have some clarity about whether they're serious, frankly, about developing their business because they gave us their answers to those questions, right? Okay, what next? So at that point, we're going to put them on a list email schedule. We want to, on a weekly basis, send them content that comes from our perspective, which is that they can be more successful with their business if they implement some of these strategies, if they take advantage of some of these opportunities, if they use some of these resources. And the perspective is, we care about you as a member of our network, potentially a member of our business development team. If you're growing your business, if you are communicating with your list more effectively, if you're doing more lead generation advertising, if you're better leveraging the social media, if you have a fundamentally more effective and systematized business, you'll be happier, your customers and clients will be happier, you'll be more successful, and that is what you want for them. So we're going to share that content. Now, from a manual perspective, you can do that, right? You can just go out and find interesting content. You can look at your business and see what you're using. You can take a look at emails that you receive from a variety of networking groups and sources, et cetera, and send those to your list. That would be fine. But again, my hypothesis is that it won't get done, right? So the concept here is let me/us do that for you. We do, like this recording, produce content that we think would be of value and will help people accelerate, small business owners, entrepreneurs, sales professionals, accelerate their success. So let us take that content that happens on a weekly basis and you share that with your list. Now put a pin in that, because the question ultimately will be, will it be easier for us to share that content on your behalf with your list? And I'll talk to you about the mechanics of that and how from their perspective they'll be receiving it from you. But fundamentally, you want to commit to the notion of, I am going to feed my network and feed my team with content, resources, strategies, opportunities that I believe will help them grow their businesses. Because if I can plug them into a good video, if I can introduce them to a good group, if I can hand them a good book, if I can do any of those things, they will be more loyal, they'll feel grateful, They will see me as some degree the source of their success or their increased success. They will be attracting more customers, contacting more customers, being more persuasive, influential with their customers. All of these good things will be happening. So that's something that we want to take advantage of. And if you commit to that, then now you have a follow-up process for people who have been activated in your network. Activated network, learn more about, start sharing content with person, pay attention to feedback I get from the people I'm sharing content with. And that fundamentally is your process. Now, what we start to do is we start to watch. We start to look and see, are these people acknowledging this stuff that I'm sharing? Are they attending the stuff that I'm sharing? Are they giving me feedback on the stuff that I'm sharing? Are they implementing the stuff that I'm sharing? Is it leading to more people being exposed to me and my business? And then is it leading potentially as the Holy Grail or as the ultimate prize, direct referral business? But that's fundamentally what is going to be accomplished. At the end of this process, which could happen today, you could start today, is you've reached out to your list, you've let them know you're interested in them, you've asked them some questions about themselves. When they respond, you then follow up and make sure that they know who you are and what you're doing. And then you follow up again with the content or the business development opportunities, resources, et cetera. What is it that we can do to help you grow your business? And then you put them on a schedule. And if that schedule is that when I send you an invite to a video training or an in-person coaching or a networking event, you just share that with your list, that's fine. The only question that you want to ask is that getting done? But truthfully, you'll know that in a couple of weeks, right? You'll know whether this becomes a pain that gets set aside because it's just, one more thing to do or not. No big deal. Fundamentally, we have a system where I can put you into the system and then we can add the different people, or you can send them an invitation to add their name to your list. And then from that point on, they'll get an email, basically like the email that I send you, but very much more concise, which is just, here's a resource, take a look at it from, Paige, or here's a resource, take a look at it from Elaine, or here's a resource, take a look at it from Tom. So that's the type of system that I have built and you can take advantage of, okay? But from a bottom line perspective, we need to be sold on the concept. You need to look at your list and audit your list. And again, I can help you do that if you want to. And then you want to activate them and have them on a follow-up process with content. Okay, so once we've done that, fundamentally, conceptually, philosophically, once we've done that, then we can just start to watch and monitor and see, okay, well, what would happen if we added this opportunity or this resource or this strategy and shared it with the list? Would that lead to them being 10% more successful? Then what would happen if we started adding more of our own content to share with our growing network and team? Would that redound to our benefit? And then the next is, what would happen if we grew the team, grew the network? Would that lead to us having more content available to share? Would that lead to us having more eyeballs to share with? Is there somebody out there who, when brought into your network or team and then matched with this business development resources and content, would that explode for you in your business? That fundamentally is what we're doing. We're growing our team because we know that our team is being equipped with the tools to not just succeed, but succeed in a way where we get benefit from it. Okay, so that's fundamentally it. And we can talk about specifically the Team 100 process for growing your network and how that works on the next recording.